Hi, I'm Chad Pelishek, Village Manager for the Village of Harrison, and today I'm joined by the Village Finance Director, Alissa Van Eperen, and we're here to talk about the scheduled adoption of the 2026 budget and what that means to the Harrison taxpayers. So we've got a series of questions that we're going to run through to try to educate you as the resident on your tax bill and what the 2026 budget will look like and how your taxes may be affected. So welcome, Alissa.
Thank you.
So the first question is can you provide a few highlights of the 2026 budget?
Sure. So for the 2026 budget, staff and the board carefully balanced spending to limit property tax impacts, especially following the market update that occurred in 2025. Overall, the village continued to experience steady growth, and we had a net new construction of 3.447%, which is really good for a community our size. We took the vacant assistant village manager position, and we reconstructed that to be the IT manager role that will actually be currently posted shortly. And a full-time building inspector was hired in 25 in hopes that once that person becomes fully certified, we will be able to eliminate an outside contract that we have. Overall, we've been very lucky that state aid, including DOT funding, has continued to increase, and funds were also allocated for road seal and crack coating. And on top of that, the village spent quite a bit of time on the 5-year CIP, so that's the capital improvement plan, to outline more major street projects amongst projects between fire, parks, and the utility as well.
Thank you. Next up, can you explain what the tax levy is?
Sure. So a tax levy is the amount to be raised by general property taxes to be used to fund the annual budget that the village board adopts. So for the 26 budget, the total tax levy is proposed to be $4,715,000, which is an increase of $115,000 from prior year, which equates to about a 2.5% increase. This difference is due to, once again, the continued growth that the community has been seeing, and the net new construction within the village was that, once again, that 3.447%, which is where the 115,000 increase comes from.
Thank you. So we all know that the village endured this past year in 2025 a market update of tax assessments with accurate appraisals. Can you explain briefly what that entailed?
Sure. So in 25, the village contracted with accurate appraisals for a market update to stay in compliance with the state requirements that assessed values remain within 10% of the state's equalized value at least once every 4 years. Without this, the village would have been out of compliance this past year. So upcoming, the assessor contract has been renewed, and market updates will now occur every 3 years to prevent large swings in property tax values. Overall, revaluations reflect average property increases, so taxes remain stable if a home's increase aligns with the average, and in Harrison, that average was about 56%. Revaluations do not increase overall revenue, they just simply redistribute the tax levy among property owners.
Okay. So the next question is are you able to share with residents what the proposed 2026 budget impact will have on the taxpayers?
So with the market update that occurred, the expectation is always typically that the property tax or mill rate will decrease, which it did for the 24 tax bills. The tax rate was $3.57 per 1,000 of assessed value, and the proposed rate for the 25 bills is $2.34 per 1,000. So most people wonder, well, what does exactly that mean? So just as an example, for a home in 2024 that was valued at $210,400, their Harrison tax amount was about $751. This same home, due to the revaluation, saw an increase of 53.5%, which was fairly close to the average. So their new value was $322,900. So with that value, their proposed Harrison tax amount will be about $756, which is a small increase of just $5.
Thank you. So the residents will receive their tax bills in early December. Can you explain what the tax bill is made up of, and should residents see an increase and how it may be likely due to other taxing jurisdictions, not just the village?
Sure. So when homeowners get their tax bills, there's a column for the net property tax, which is made up of several taxing jurisdictions: Calumet County, the village, Fox Valley Tech, and then depending on the resident's location, one of five school districts. So with that, the village just represents one small portion. So it's important to look at the prior year taxes and the current. And then there's also a column for percent change. So it's important to kind of look at all those columns to kind of figure out potentially where those increases or decreases could have came from. Also, the last couple of years, there have been a couple different referendums that have occurred. So it's important to keep in mind if the school district you're in also had a referendum. So while the first installment is due to the Village of Harrison for taxes, we are only able to answer questions based on our levy and our tax amount. So any residents who have any other questions should ensure that they contact the appropriate taxing jurisdiction.
Thank you. And can you, before we wrap this up, can you kind of give us a feel on when tax bills might be sent out?
Sure. So next Tuesday, November 11th, the board will adopt the proposed 2026 budget. After that, we will send all the information over to the county to start compiling the tax bills. And by state statute, they should be mailed by the third Monday in December, but hopefully they will be mailed before that. But the third Monday, I believe, is December 15th. So our hopes are that they'll be mailed out the week prior, but we will try to make sure we update all social media and our website to give residents an update on when they can expect to see those in their mailboxes.
Thank you. So that wraps up our segment on taxes and the tax levy and market assessments. So we hope that you enjoyed this video and that you'll see some future videos coming your way as we continue to communicate out what's happening within the village. So thank you.